back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully, you guys are having a great and exceptional Monday. Man, we're definitely getting this year going along. It's the second, basically, the first official week in the month of June. But let me know how your weekend was. I know Father's Day is around the corner, Juneteenth's around the corner, 4th of July. So, the best thing about this time of year is a lot of people are doing the best to have fun, enjoy their time with their family members, hopefully get some me time at the same time as well, because that's very healthy for anybody. I don't care if you have children or not. Me time is, it's kind of like everybody has their own version of therapy. And some people go to the gym, some people go on vacation, some people just go walking, some people go hiking, some people, actually go to a therapist. They can confide in their spiritual advisor, whether it's a preacher, reverend, imam, rabbi, whatever have you. Everybody has their thing to help them get through this life from a mental perspective. And hey, mental health is very, very important because hey, like without health, there's no wealth, and without mental health, there's no wealth either. So I just had to keep it simple on that note. But today's word of the day is, and it's nice to be back, to be able to go live again on Instagram because I put a post out and it said it goes against the community. And nowadays, even when you do your best to make sure it doesn't, there's someone somewhere finding a way. So, but what do I know, right? But anyways, today's word of the day is sand trap. And sand trap stands for a sand-filled depression serving as a hazardous on a golf course and whatnot. I've seen that on multiple levels, golf courses. I've even seen it in the desert. But a sand trap, I'm using that word today because a lot of times, unfortunately, there's so many versions of getting trapped on so many levels. And a lot of times the trap you can get trapped into can be detrimental to your existence, meaning it could take your life away. You could lose a limb. It could mess with your mental health. Or it could actually just put you in a state of depression or to the point where you just lose, not even like you're to the point where you need constant therapy and medications, because like I said, it's nothing to play around with. But it could put yourself in a position of where you lose your drive and ability to go after the things that you love to do. It doesn't quite kill your drive in order for you to not go to work and pay the bills. You do the minute stuff. You take care of your children. You're making sure your significant other's good to go. You have pets. You're making sure they're squared away. You're getting all the minute day-to-day stuff going. Because we live in a society today that thinks they're supposed to get credit for doing the basic stuff. And I always quote Chris Rock: "We're supposed to do it. We do it." Certain things are very black and white. There's a lot of gray in this world, but getting up, drinking water, eating food, paying bills, taking care of a family, the most basic thing on the planet. You know why? Because people have been doing that since the beginning of time, before there was running water, before there was electricity, before people lived in structural housing, before there was any governments, before there was even things called a corporation. People have been taking care of families since the beginning of time. People have been in survival mode since the beginning of time. So that's why I was laughing. People in today's want to, beat their chest and, like on the Wolf of Wall Street, like they're doing something special when you're just doing the basic stuff what you're supposed to do. You don't get credit for the stuff you're supposed to do. Your job doesn't give you credit for the stuff you're supposed to do. They usually give you credit. You get a bonus for outdoing something, outperforming other people, or you're working on special projects, or you added more value to the operation. Then that's when you get a raise, or sometimes, or that's when you get a promotion, certain instances, or that's when you get a bonus. It's like you've outperformed, you've done outside of the basic normal day-to-day stuff. So that's just the way life works. But anyways, today's quote of the day is by Lynn Twist, who's an American author. Stated, "I challenge you to imbue your money with your soul, and let it stand for who you are, your love, your heart, your word, and your humanity." Now, I could not agree with that statement more, because we all have to challenge ourselves to grow in this life. So, and hey, I'm guilty of this as well. A lot of times I don't, like I had a debate with my gardener about me having to water my grass twice a day and whatnot. Because a lot of times I don't want to be challenged. Some days, especially on Mondays, it's like the day I'm just like, I can admit this, full disclosure. Monday mornings, I don't want to be bothered. Outside of the normal day-to-day stuff, when something messes with my routine, especially on a Monday, it blows me sometimes. But that's life. That's adulthood. You got to deal. You got to Not everything's going to be as black and white as we would like it to be. Trust me, I'm a guy that's like, I call myself a military man in the sense of I like my structure, I like my peace, and I like my structure. I don't like organized chaos. I don't like chaos on any level. So I like, I like structure because that keeps me focused. A lot of chaos takes my focus away. Like a lot of times, even some days, I got to turn my cell phone off. Even though a lot of business, me selling products online via my Shopify store, me getting dings on my Cash App and my PayPal for people contributing to the channel, which I always greatly appreciate you guys doing. Um, me having to talk to my property management company when it comes to the rental properties that I buy. I have a job, so I have to deal with coworkers and whatnot. So yeah, a lot of times, so a lot of times I have to learn to shut off the TV, shut off the cell phone, and even log out. Even even log out of my any social media that I may have when I'm on my computer, because a lot of times I need to focus. That I need to keep my eyes on the prize and focus on what matters and whatnot. If I'm writing a blog, or if I'm creating a blog, or if I'm fulfilling orders on my online Shopify store, or if I'm getting pinged because somebody signed up with WEBULL, Stash, Acorn, all that good stuff, so they can start making money moves in the stock market, crypto game, and the bond game, and have an individual retirement account, something outside of the 401k, or if they don't even have a 401k, they'll be able to have their own private version. Does it mean that it's going to make you rich? No, but it's just another avenue for one to have their money work for them while they're sleeping. So these things I gotta, and stay focused on. And a lot of times that means logging out of social media, because a lot of times it could be one of the biggest distractions on the planet. Just like I always call the media one of the biggest distractions on the planet, because and I've had these discussions with people, and I'm not even gonna say debates, but discussions with people where I'm like, okay, if you're trying to do better in your life and you're trying to have some sort of self-improvement on any level, whether it's health, whether it's wealth, whether it's just regular education and whatnot, getting better skill sets and whatnot, a lot of times being on social media and watching the news and the headlines and whatnot, especially when you do it for hours, it becomes a waste of time. And because I always say, well, you'll never see a story because it's not juicy enough. You never see a story run for hours about how a person became a millionaire or a billionaire. And I challenge you all to think about that. Tell me the last time you saw the media, regardless of what network it is, that's irrelevant, talk about for hours and hours, run for hours and hours about how a person became a millionaire or a billionaire, how a person was able to turn their job into an option, how a person was able to become more healthier from a mental and physical perspective. Because I know that's not juicy enough, that's not sexy enough, in today's world, or probably never. But how a person became, like, everybody wants to talk about the bad politicians doing, or the bad a CEO is doing, or whatnot, but they never talk about those conversations that these people have behind closed doors in regards to increasing their investment portfolio, the passive income portfolio, the business portfolio, the connections that they have to make, the things that they have to learn, the classes that they have to take sometimes. Because even when they're born into money and whatnot, they have to constantly educate themselves in order for them to keep their wealth and to pass it down to the next generation. How they're able to do the in-home banking become the personal banker with a whole life insurance policy. You're not going to see those kind of stories run for hours and hours and hours and whatnot, because that is what I like to call useful information. And a lot of people get upset when I say that's, when I see a headline, and even if I say, man, that's crazy, but I have to get back to work. A lot of people get mad because they're like, okay, well, obviously you either acting smug or you just don't care. I'm not smug. I just don't care. I'm just like, majority, 95% to 99% of what the media puts out on any network is usually going to be a distraction, unfortunately. Outside of maybe a horrific weather event about to happen or whatnot, or actual terrorist event happening. If it's in my backyard, then I need to pay more attention, because, hey, do I need to duck for cover? What do I need to do? But if I know if it's a country away or a state away that I have no interest in, then I'm not really worried about it, And that's just me trying to stay focused on my goals and, and aspirations and whatnot. That's what it is. It's not me thinking I'm better than anybody. It's not me trying to clown anybody. It's just me trying to stay focused. And in today's world, it is very hard to stay focused, because people love to, one, overly gossip. Two, people love to overly talk about things that don't generate income, talk about things that aren't about constantly educating you. but a lot of gossip and minutia and whatnot. Like I saw this and make the fellas laugh more because I saw a post on social media yesterday. It made me laugh, but I was like, interesting perspective. Because that's what I could say. Even if I laugh, I think it's funny, or if I disagree, I could still say, well, that's an interesting perspective, because that's, to me, that's the adult thing to do. But what do I know? But anyways, um, so what happened is the young lady put this post out here saying that um, men should pay attention to women as much as they pay attention to sports that they're never going to play. And I just thought that was interesting because I'm like, I can get with that. Now, am I saying, I don't watch sports, so that's why I can understand what she's saying. Like a woman told me the other day, she's like, you're the first man I've ever had a conversation with that says they don't watch sports. I was like, it is what it is. I don't know. I'm a book nerd. I'm a podcast nerd. That's what I do. Um, that's what I pay attention on, the economics of it all. But I'm not mad at anybody that watches sports because my form of entertainment is me watching Wildin' Out or me watching comedians podcasts or watching a funny movie or a funny television show. Everybody has the form of entertainment. I'm not mad at it. I'm not saying, well, I'm above everybody because I don't watch sports. No, I have my thing. You have your thing. Let's move on like adults. But anyways, but paying attention to things because a lot of times to become knowledgeable in an area that doesn't generate income, that's my whole thing. It's like I watch Wild and Out, I watch 85 South, I watch 5150, Corey Holcomb, I watch Godfrey Trust podcast and whatnot to get a laugh. But I don't really go to the extent of sports fans and what they do in regards to getting the knowledge and information. But in today's world, it could be a lot. That knowledge and information can turn into a huge following podcast, and the person could be selling merchandise. They could have their online store like I do with Shopify. They could, it turns into a position where people can make a money move if they want to. But a lot of sports fans know so much information in regards to the players, the coaches, the NFFC. I don't, like I said, I'm gonna act like I know. They know all this information because I've heard people have in-depth discussion, especially people who are in NFL fans and whatnot, and people how they will listen to podcasts for hours, especially nowadays. Listen to ESPN for hours on them, and they love it. There's nothing wrong with it. It really isn't, especially if it doesn't affect your bottom line in life. Like I've seen people who are avid sports fans, but they're a director of a company or organization or whatnot. They're high up there. So as I said, you can be both. But then I've seen other people who are avid sports fans and they're still bums doing the same job, and they know more about their football players and coaches and whatnot and music than they do about how to get a skill set and whatnot. So my mindset is don't overly indulge in information that's not going to help generate income and help you become a healthier person and a better person. That's all I can say about that. All right, that's because even me, I'm not going to overly indulge on Wildin' Out. I overly indulge in reading books and listening to podcasts that are talking about culture, history, and how to be a better business person and investor. That's what I want to overly indulge in nowadays. And with the pandemic, it made it much more easier to do that. But anyways, on that note, family, do the great 3 free things. Like, share, and subscribe. Hopefully you have a great day. And as I always say, make money moves or you're going to live bro like a fool. Remember, sign up with the other platforms if you want to be from WEBULL to Coinbase to Stash, Crypto.com, Acorns, all that good stuff. You have opportunity to make some money when you sign up for those platforms, especially once you put a pin in those accounts, right? So take care. And like I always say, make money moves or you're going to live bro like a fool. Take care.